For long-time viewers of What's It Like, it's no secret that I really enjoy Farming Simulator 23, and I've sunk close to 300 hours into that game. Farming away to my heart's content, there's just something so relaxing and so rewarding about the gameplay cycle of that game. There are plenty of intricacies that you have to master and time to grow your crops, process and store them, and wait for the right time to sell them all to maximize profits. Giant Software has absolutely nailed this genre, and the Farming Simulator franchise, much like my digital crops, has grown into its own, with Farming Sim even having its own agricultural trade shows, and they've become pretty much the only name in the Farming Simulator field worth knowing, no pun intended. Farming Simulator Kids is an attempt to bring a younger audience into the wonderful world of agriculture. What's it like? Create your character, jump in a tractor, and put on your overalls as we take a look at Farming Simulator Kids for Nintendo Switch. But before we plant our crops, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best way that outlets like What's It Like get found on YouTube, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. So I'm just going to preface this video by saying it's very hard to score a game like Farming Simulator for Kids, as I'm not the target audience. So I thought I would approach this review as a parent instead of a critic. And how do I do that? Well, after exploring the game and the features for a few hours myself, I then handed the Switch over to my daughter, who is 6 years old, and I let her play it while observing her and asking her questions about what she likes about the game. This review is built on that experience and won't come down to a score out of 100 like it usually does. Farming Simulator Kids is very clearly built for a very young audience, and as such only uses touchscreen controls, with gameplay similar to that of a basic phone or tablet app. There's not a lot of reading or direction, and objectives are represented in colourful icons. Your real objective is just to have fun and do things your way. You start by creating your farmer avatar and your friends, and as well as any critters that you would like, and then you are unleashed onto the town of Farming Simulator Kids to explore at your leisure. While Farming Simulator 23 was all about carefully maintaining your crops and industry, Farming Simulator Kids takes a more laid-back approach to farming, allowing players to plant crops, water and harvest all in a few seconds, which helps keep the focus on fun and engagement with the younger audience. You can also milk cows, feed horses, and even make sandwiches to order with the sandwich machine. And it's all done with relative ease thanks to the intuitive touchscreen controls. Younger farmers also don't have to wait to drive combines or tractors, with all the tools being available at their disposal and ready to drive. The game surprisingly features actual licensed vehicles from John Deere too, which is probably lost on the younger audience, but the authenticity is a very nice touch for seasoned farm sim parents. Graphically, the game is bright and colourful with friendly looking avatars and cute critters. It's somewhat akin to kids' cartoons, and it features bright and colourful and detailed fill locales to explore and interact with. The art style looks nice, and it suits the game's fun and bubbly vibe, littering every location with characters and creatures. The gameplay is simple, like dragging a bucket under a cow to milk it, or pressing a button on the seed machine to dispense wheat seeds to plant. You could drag your watering can across the crops to water them, and then drag the combine across the screen to harvest the wheat. None of it's very complex, but I did find the touch controls on the Switch rather fiddly at times. Nothing game-breaking, but the click and drag aspects could cause some frustration for tiny hands. For my vision-impaired junior farmers, there are no accessibility options, but the buttons are highlighted and the colours contrast rather well. That being said, as always, I do recommend further research to find out if Farming Simulator Kids is for your junior farmer. Value-wise, the $45 price weighs in at the steeper end of the scale for a game like Farming Simulator Kids, especially since the mobile version is significantly cheaper. But that being said, there are no microtransactions in the Switch version like there are in the mobile app, and I have personally fallen victim to my daughter purchasing $200 worth of dog treats for something on Google Play, so it actually might be cheaper in the long run. The game will keep your child occupied by providing hours of entertainment, and for those who might be too young to dip their toes in the Mario Kart or Animal Crossing games, Farming Simulator Kids could be a good introduction not only to gaming, but to farming as well. Overall, as a parent, I can see the appeal of Farming Simulator Kids. It's bright and colourful and has educational aspects in the processes of farming, without having any text to trip up more younger minds. Its point-and-click gameplay means it's easy to pick up for children of all ages, but primarily will be best suited to those a bit on the younger side. Despite having a slightly steeper price point than most games aimed at this audience, it's a complete experience with no microtransactions and plenty of things to explore and interact with. While Farming Simulator Kids is a far cry from the mainstream entries of its bigger brother, it does a great job of planting the seed of taking an interest in agriculture, and hopefully, that seed grows into a healthy and curious mind that wants to learn more. Thank you for watching. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.